This video is sponsored by Absolute Truth Accounting. Compilation starting from 3,000 Rand. Independent reviews starting from 5,000 Rand. Contact us on our direct line, which is 060-187-0680. That's 060-187-0680. Or our email, which is absolutetruthaccounting@gmail.com. That's absolutetruthaccounting@gmail.com. Thanks. Peace. I'm your host, Ramiro Padiachi. This is my podcast called Shine in the Light. And I just decided to start a podcast basically because I have a story and I think it matters, and I'd like to share my story. And I'd like to, further than that, is like open up the floor for other people who have interesting stories, because I think as South Africans, I think we have like really important stories that will affect like on a worldwide platform. Like it will impact on the worldwide platform, like now what just happened in the news. God bless Nati, sorry boss. One too many moves in the wrong direction leads to the end. So I hope he found resolve in what he did, and I hope his lineage is blessed by his almost. Well, let's leave it there. Let's hope his lineage is blessed. I'm Ramiro Padiachi. Yes, I'm starting this podcast called Shine in the Light, and I have a story, and I think that a lot of people like me have similar stories, and I think it's important we share those stories. So this is my podcast called Shine in the Light, and I wanted it to be all-encompassing, because that's like my mission in life, is to include everything, as to not negate anything, if you know what I'm saying. But yes, that is me. I'm Ramiro Padiachi, coming from the West Rand Waltervredenpark Park. This is the podcast, Shining the Lights, and I wanted to shine the lights on everything, so that's why I called it that. But in chapter 2, we'll get into my story, and then from there, let's just take it a chapter at a time. Peace. Okay, chapter 2. I'm gonna go into my story, and ultimately it would like lead to why I chose to start this podcast, right? So I was born in Lenasia South, and my parents grew up in Lenasia. We call it Lens, and my mother's from Extension 10, my dad's from Extension 4. So they're also like very thuggish areas in Lens. So that also like, they also have a deep story themselves. So my parents bought a house in Lenasia South, and it was like one of the earliest developments there, something like that. And so they had my sister, and then I was on the way. So that's when they moved to the Lenasia South. Because they come from Lens. And then by the age of 3, because my mother was for Investec, she wanted a better schooling environment, just better everything, because there was also like Lens isn't the best. It's like it's got some crime and stuff around the area, and obviously because of the things that lead to those type of environments. In my later days, I understand that, like, no, obviously unemployment doesn't just manifest. There's triggers. Anyway, I must remember also like to cut these clips into 15-minute intervals, because this hard drive holding the mouse is like starts going crazy after 15 minutes. Anyway, mental note. So yeah, I grew up in Lenasia South, moved to the West Rand when I was 3, and then from there I went to Panorama Primary School, went to Allen Glen High School, was a diligent student. I also played soccer. So yeah, I want to make it pro basically, and obviously come from my community. That's like a bit weird, but I did the things there, man. Everyone knows me for soccer, and yeah, I was pretty good at it. Yeah, I am pretty good at it. So yeah, I went to Allen Glen High School. Famous people come from there, most like Tuli Pongolo and Tanzi Kutsia, Georgia Vakian, Musi Maimani, Ramiro Padiachi on 60 Crib. Yeah, so went to Allen Glen High School. Then I played soccer at the same time for Panorama Primary School. Panorama Soccer Club. And I went to Panorama Primary School. After that, I went to UJ. While I was at UJ, I went through a tragedy where my cousin passed away, like my day one. And that set a course of events that changed my life. Probably actually led to me doing this type of stuff, because I wouldn't have been this open, I think, had I not went through what I went through. So yeah, my cousin Sashin passed away, and I'm gonna break down what I went through because of that in a later chapter, probably in the next chapter. But now it's just to break down my story, like where I come from, and where I went to school, where I went to university. Did I get my degree? Yes, I did get my degree. I went through that traumatic event that time that still like hits home till today. Like it feels like yesterday. God bless Shane Naik, man. That's my day one. Yeah, so when I was 23, I got serious with my high school sweetheart, Shanette Moodley. So then, that was when I was 23. We I don't know, like we took, cause I was 2 years older than her, and we met in high school. I guess when I was 23, she was 21, but we started dates when I was 18. So 18, after 18, I was 19. That's just the HP Hendrick next to, it's like along the road we live on. What was I saying now? Oh yeah, so we got back together when I was 23, I remember, and we started dates when I was 18 and 19. Like we struggled to let go, so that was 18 and 19. So 23, we got back together, and then 25. I started a business when I was 21. Just after my cousin passed, because like I needed to do something. Life wasn't making sense, and my mother said I could start a business, so which went with me, having studied accounting and been already studying accounting at UJ at that time, at APK for the graduates, the bachelors of commerce, BCom. Right. So yeah, when I was, I think, yeah. So I had a business when I was 21. Then it was in Harrietdale there by the shipping lines that have the empty containers there. We load the containers. So my uncle told me I must get a truck, and then I can load, like for 8 tons and less, the 6-meter containers that you see on the trucks, not the long ones, the shorter ones. Yeah, like I used to pack 8 tons and less in there on an 8-ton truck, and then I used to run around Joburg for Lianic Logistics, Tambura Trading. Those are my uncles. Until today, they're running in the logistics game. Successful Indian O's. And yeah, so I had my truck there. I think it was about 3 years. 3 years, yeah, about 3 years. And then at the same time, my dad had his own business, a spares business. It's called Sisfikile Auto and Body. Sisfikile Auto and Body Parts. But we closed now, but we were open like from. I think I started my business 2013. My dad also started 2013. So I think we closed the business in 2023, and we closed the business in 2023. Okay, we closed the business in 2023, and yeah, but we were open for 10 years, right? So at the same time I was busy doing that, I went to do my articles because I had my business with my uncles, right? And my dad had his own business at the same time. Then I saw that my business was a bit more risky than his business, so I decided to take my business, sell my truck, and put the money in his business. And then because the business wasn't that busy also at the time, because we started out in Strumens Valley, and then we moved to Florida. It wasn't that busy, and I also need to do my articles. So at the time, me and my current wife, we decided to go do our articles. And also at the time, like, her dad didn't want us to be dating, so she kind of ran from home and came to stay by me. And then yeah, like I worked with my dad in his shop, and then I went to do my articles with my wife, my now wife, then girlfriend. We went to go work for Popolski Hurwitz, right? Did my articles. She finished there. I did 18 months. This is now after I had my own truck. Sold the truck, went to go work with my dad at his spare shop. Did everything there, the sales, the marketing, the accounting. Got exposure to the whole business there with my dad in Florida with this business called Sisfikile Auto and Body. I did the website. I was all the departments in one. CEO. Then, like I said, I was with my current wife there, and then we decided to go do our articles at Popolski. After we did our articles at Popolski, well, I was on a 5-year, she was on a 3. She finished there. I left halfway through, and I think, did I propose then? Yes, I did. I proposed somewhere, okay, along the line. Can't even remember now. Yeah, and then it was just before we had our first child, Ilano, and it was at the time when it was COVID. I think after he was born was 2020 was COVID, so we even survived COVID, right? And then Ilano was born. After Ilano was born, we moved to Polshof, because also when we were doing our articles, we lived in Polshof. So I moved out after my current wife came to live with us in Polshof. Came to live with us in Valties, because the parents most didn't want us together. We went to Polshof. I was doing my articles. Then I left. I went to go work with my dad. She finished the articles, and then we had our son. After she finished her articles, we had our son. We moved back to Polshof again, and then we had our second son, Yashay. So now we got 2 sons, and I think I was 31 by then. 30, right? And now we have 2 sons, and I had proposed already by then. Well, I proposed, long before that. I was 27, I think, 28. Yeah, something like that. I proposed, right? So then we got married. Okay, well, I'm jumping the gun. So I must leave Popolski. My wife finishes there. We have my son, and then we have another son. I'm working with my dad the whole time there at Sisfikile. I'm doing the marketing, accounting, everything. I still got the timeline. I still got the Instagram page. Like all the what we used to do is still up there. Siskile Auto and Body Parts. Yeah, let me cut this one here. File, save as, shining the light